Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen. And Orpheus and his army, as you can see, they're making good progress toward the City of Malano. This whole map is known as the City of Malano, but the actual city is the enemy's base. So, there's some walls similar to the slums of Zenobia that are blocking our way, but they actually have gates in them that we can actually go through. So we're slowly making our way. The city can basically be divided into like three areas. The first area we kind of went through already, and now we're working on the second area. And then once we finish off this second area, then we can kind of push into the actual enemy base, the actual city of Malano, and just surround the enemy. And as always, we want to, basically surround him so that we can just send unit after unit after him. Because remember, enemy units, enemy boss units, you have to defeat them. Because if you don't defeat them, even if you deal more damage to them, you lose. And if you defeat any of the minions who are with the boss, they will just respawn. So you want to definitely always be applying a lot of pressure to bosses when you fight them. But we're going to finish off the enemy forces in this second quadrant, because the third quadrant really doesn't have temples and stuff and cities where our characters can sit back and heal when they take damage in a battle. So we've got quite a few right here. So this is where most of the enemy ground units have been. We caught them over this way. There's a few flyers that are probably going to be coming up over onto the left, over more toward the west. But we got the majority of the ground units that were already released. They're all over on the eastern side. So now, let's recall it. So yeah, we got another flying unit here. So, but all the lines are tightened up. It's still pretty much the same, strategy. We just want to have that straight line across to prevent any units from sneaking by. Actually, one unit did sneak by, but thankfully, I know where it's at. It's way over to the east. There's a temple over there. And once I got some time, I will send a unit or two over there to deal with it. So luckily it hasn't tried to come up toward the base, but Orpheus up there near the base, so he can potentially spot the unit if it's coming there up toward the base. So we're gonna have to send some units over to the east anyway later on to not only liberate some cities over there, but there's also some treasure over there. Most of the treasure we've gotten so far, we've gotten on the western side of the map. In the northwestern corner, there was that, a little southwest of our base, there's that mountain chain, and there were quite a few treasures in there, but Orpheus went and got them out early in the map, so, early in this adventure, so. Well, looks like the enemy's a little bit scared. They're like just pausing. Well, I'd be scared too. We've been running roughshod over them. So, and if they try to retreat, we have those flyer units over there hanging out on the city to block off their retreat. So yeah, the walls actually help us out a little bit here. So the walls also help out a little bit in that whatchamacallit, when we defeat an enemy leader, like we just did right here, we defeated the samurai master who was leading this unit. Now they'll turn into a skull and they'll retreat back to the enemy base to have the unit be refreshed. But the walls kind of prevent those units from usually going straight back toward the base. They got to do the roundabout. The way these walls are built, it's kind of like an S, a little curve. You have to come in from the west, then they have to go all the way to the east to go through the wall, then they have to head all the way back over to the west to go, to finally get out and start making their way toward our base. So the enemy units have to snake around, which is good because not only have to snake around when they're trying to attack us, but when they're retreating, they have to do that snaking around too. And with all that snaking, they're obviously covering a large distance, and we don't have to worry about covering a large distance because we have the flyers that can just shoot right over and can ignore those walls that are forcing the ground units to make that long trek. So yeah, we're actually getting it's interesting. We're getting more use out of flying units in this map than what we were getting out of the in the two Sky Islands, Organa and Muspelm. So of course we fought pretty carefully in those units because we didn't want to have any of our ground units lose and be pushed off the edge. So I tried to always make it that when we were in a fight, that we were kind of in the center of the map, or if we had a venture close to the edge, we were moving in a direction that if we did have to retreat, we wouldn't retreat toward the edge, we'd retreat further inland. So this is another, normally would be an annoying unit because the leader's in the front row, and so it'd be hard to, you know, eliminate this unit without taking out the leader. But like I said, it doesn't matter much in this map because if we take out the leader, they're just gonna, you know, try to warn their way back to the base, but have to worry about all those walls. So well, maybe it might be wise to let that unit maybe sneak over to the east a little bit more. Our flying unit is good for flying around, but wasn't doing too much damage there. It doesn't hurt that we only have 4 attacks with this unit. The Cockatrice has 2 front row attacks, and the Valkyrie has 2 front row attacks. The Shaman is just going to heal, keep our characters alive, and the Nymph there is just going to bestow attack bonuses. Well, this will make the battle easy to win now because we charmed every single one of their characters. So now when you charm a cleric, their clerics will heal our characters. So once that cleric in the middle goes, yeah, see, she healed our leader up there. So that's good because 1, it saves our cleric from having to do that healing, and 2, it prevents the cleric from healing herself or her allies. You see the wizards were attacking the cleric, targeting her. So, ooh, this is very close to finishing it off. So, yep, and we won that one. Now this one will start retreating, but we'll probably have to put our tactics to weak so we can take out that cleric before she does some healing. Yeah, she can't damage us, you know, but still, we don't want her healing herself or the wizards. We can accept that little bit of damage that we'll take from ignoring the wizards, because it just means that we'll, once we damage them, there's no way for them to heal. Getting a little crowded up here, but that should be expected. Whenever you start getting closer to the enemy base, that's when they start releasing their units much faster. The game's trying to do everything it can to prevent you from getting into a fight with the area leader. Good hit there with the Raven Man there. White magic weapon, so that helped out a little bit there. Ninjas have low white magic resistance and physical resistance, so I guess that's their trade-off for having being the first fighter character class to get 3 front row attacks. Knights didn't get it until they reached their 2nd tier promotion, the Paladin, and the same with the Samurai. They didn't get 3 attacks until they hit the Samurai Master, which were at level which were both at level 15, where the ninja can promote to a ninja at like level 5, so. But they have a little less strength growth, so your knights may actually end up doing more damage with 2 attacks than the 3 ninja attacks, so it depends, of course, how strength rolls, A knight, I think, gets 3 to 5 strength points per level up, and the ninja might get only 2 to 4. But, if your knight's rolling consistently low, rolling 3s, and your ninja's rolling 4s, your ninja's gonna, although on average that's not gonna happen, but, there's always outliers, Things can run weird, It's like flipping a coin, It's 50-50 heads, but it's possible that you can throw, heads 10 times or tails 20 times in a row, It's probability, it's not a certainty. Good thing. Yay. Always good when their characters miss. It's not good when our characters miss. There's that one ice that missed the Samurai Master. It would have freed a warm-up there to deal some good damage to the silver dragons there. The silver dragons weren't going to take a lot of damage from that ice. And more fighting. Wow. Never-ending fights. So hopefully we can heal up our Eagle Man there and get him back up to the front row. This should be a decent battle to heal up. We just took care of that Wild Man in the front, so that's 2 less attacks we have to worry about. So now all we have to worry about is the 2 Wild Men attacks, their smashes, and the 2 fireballs from the evil one in the back. Witches won't deal any damage, but they'll be annoying and prevent us from doing damage. So maybe this will wake up that demon. Yes, it did. So we'll get a little bit more. Maybe another attack in here. So okay, yeah, we kept our fairy alive, and more importantly, we got our Eagle Man back up. So we can throw him back into the front row. Mainly because obviously, if you have 3 targets in the front row, the chance of someone getting targeted is, only 33%, where if, there's only 2, it's 50%, so there's more likelihood that the ones in the front, when they have less characters up there, are going to be taking more damage, so. Although with the Raven Man and the Eagle Man are pretty good dodgers, like I said, they have some pretty good agility, so. And they get some good strength growth, so even though Raven and Eagle Man will never get a 3rd attack like the Samurai Master, the Ninja Master, or the Paladin, they will, I guess make up for it with their decent strength growth and their good agility, which means they're less likely to miss attacks. So agility factors in, of course, into your hit percentage, so. We just got Muse there, I think that's our first, no, I think that's our second Muse promotion. I think we promoted one earlier. Ronnie, of course, came as a Muse, but, we're not using her. We'll use her to get the special dialogue in this battle, but, in terms of, using her to fight, no, so. Although she is pretty good in whatever class you put her in, because she has, really high stats. Better than, a unit that you build normally. So, what should I call it? Muses, they got, like, now that a red dress rather than the blue one that the Valkyries had. And their single targeting bolt attack becomes a hit all thunder attack from the back row. So, gotta be careful. I know the first time I played this game, didn't really know a lot about alignments and stuff like that and how to manipulate it and keep it safe. I ended up with like a bunch of muses in the background because I got so much better in the back. From going from a single targeting attack to a hit all attack. that they just were like wiping out so many enemies, and because they were defeating so many enemies, they started getting, you know, their charisma and alignment started tanking. But luckily it didn't matter that their alignment and charisma were dropping, because the Muse is the final upgrade in the female melee type class. So, and Worm defeated enough enemies. It's level 17, so it's taken a hit to its alignment, which is what we needed it to do. We could have promoted the Worm earlier if we would have had the correct requirements. The Worm needed to have an alignment from 0 to 55, but we weren't really using it for a while, and then we put it in. It was defeating enemies that were higher level than it, so it gained a lot of alignment. And so we had a, for the past few episodes, we had to kind of put our Worm to have a little bit of put in the overtime, I guess you could say, to gain a lot of levels so that he can finally start, you know, defeating enemies lower level than him to lose that alignment. Now we're able to transform that Worm into our Wyvern, and he goes from green to like a goldish type color, goldish yellow. So he'll get a little bit of better resistances, some better stat growths. So overall, always best to change classes. These dragons to take care of. This is where the Cockstreets would probably be better in the back row. He could turn them into stone. Actually, the Muse would probably be better in the back row too, because her physical attack is only taking off 1. But even though they're dealing more damage to us, they're not really dealing damage because our shaman is able to heal it up pretty well. So alright, let's put Muse in the back row and get those hit all thunder attacks. It's not ice, so I don't know what the resistance that the I don't have it offhand right now, what the resistance is to lightning is for the silver dragons, if it's decent or if it's, you know, fair or poor. But I imagine it's probably fair. But we'll see when we, she'll definitely do more damage than just one. The one hit point that she was doing in the front row when she was chopping with her spear. So, surprisingly, our Nixies there, which are the advanced mermaids, they're doing well outside the water. They're in a flying unit, of course, because they're in the Worm, but even if they were in the plains unit, they're still pretty decent. They're basically like good alignment mages. Of course, they can't target all the elements like a mage can, but they do have that one hit all attack. So just like how the mage does. Maybe a better comparison would be a doll mage. The doll mage has the one physical acid attack hit all. The thing has a one hit all ice attack. And now we're going to see our Muse with her 2 hit all thunder attacks. Thunder hit everybody. Ooh, yep, wow. 150 some damage, spread out about 50 to each, so a little more to some. Ouch, yep. One more, you can see how powerful that thunder is. So, that's why my alignment, when I first started using the class, first played the game, went so bad, because you can see, like, the next time our unit fights, well, if it would have fought that unit again, but unfortunately it jumped back right into this unit, we'd be able to, defeat it. So, alright, well, we should be able to finish this unit off here. The next Nixie that goes first should wipe out the Worm and the front evil man, and the second one should finish it off. Yep, there we go. And if she didn't, well, the Worm still had another attack left, and we saw how deadly he can be with his tail. Yeah, that worm, when they attack. We saw it way back when Gilbert, because Gilbert was a boss that had 2 worms. And those are the 2 worms we have right here. They kind of swing their tail out. Well, we just saw when it was announced their tail. So, tail. I am petting Pops from his head to his tail. His little tail right here. Tails are the rat's AC and heating unit. So, yeah, they're the rat's tail, because it's hairless. When they need to cool down, because it doesn't have any fur on it, the blood will go through the tail, and the tail is as long as the rat's body. So as it's traveling through that tail, because there's no fur, the tail's a little bit cooler, so the blood will cool down, and then when it gets recirculated back into the rat's body, it's a little bit cooler, so the cooler blood helps cool down the rat a little bit. And then conversely, when the rat is cold, the blood vessels in its tail will constrict, and then as the blood travels through it, it creates more friction as it goes through, because the blood vessels are constricted, and a byproduct of friction is heat. That's why you can like rub flint together and create sparks, or you rub things, flammable things fast enough together. The heat, the friction. So that byproduct of heat, stays with the blood, and then that way the blood is warmer when it goes back into the rat, and it warms them up. So, the interesting things about rat biology. So, didn't know all this stuff, of course, when I first got rats, but, you learned. So, just over the years of having them, so, and the forums that I go on, including Morty Mouse House Minions. So, yeah, learned a lot from good old Morty Mouse House Minions. So, good group of people. So I try to honor, people who lose pets. Thereby naming their lost, departed critters. Mainly rats, but we've had a few mice and stuff as well. And I had my dog Buddy for the Dog Island. So, just a way to remember our little critters. Keep it on memories. So, Pops is like, I wish you would forget about me, Dad, because I'm tired and I want to go back into the cage. Yeah, he's been out for a little over 4 hours. He gets this little playtime where he gets to run around, although he doesn't do too much running because he's a little old boy. I just had him squeak there a little bit. I had to get up and get a tissue because he had to go to the bathroom, little Pops. Uh-oh. Yeah, the Pops tinkled on me the other day when he was on my lap, and of course had to get a shower and change and stuff, but that's a rat thing. Rats will, the alpha rat will, show dominance by peeing on the beta rats, so I guess I have become the beta rat to Pops. So, yeah, Pops is now the alpha in our house, so not sure how that's going to affect me. It's probably not going to be good for my future because Pops doesn't have a job or really do anything. Well, what is Orpheus? This is the second time he drew a death card in this thing. We don't want that card. That's a bad card. Ugh. Well, we do want this item. A power shield. That'll be good for like one of our fairies. There's some very bad vibes coming out from the Highline. I wonder what's going on. And that's, I think, the 3rd city that said that same exact thing. So, I guess they just had too many cities to program and they forgot to add a bunch of different dialogue, so. Alright, cats, head over here. Start moving around. I was checking out. See, we have a whole bunch of cities over there to the east that we still have to liberate. Yeah, that's where that one flying unit went. He's just hanging out there, recuperating. I think I lost track of that flying unit, mainly because it wasn't, defeated in a really bad way. Like, it didn't lose any characters. It just had, like, pretty much all its units hurt really badly. And, of course, I think that paid off for us because it spent all its time healing on the city that it retreated to. I guess the computer didn't want to make an assault unless it's unless that unit's characters were all topped off, had their full hit points. So, and even though we've been spending a lot of time, you know, in this battle, I mean, this is the 3rd episode in it, and we won't finish it because we only have about, you know, 6 more minutes or so to go. You know, the time has been deceptive because so much of this time between episodes has been, you know, fighting. You know, it's non-stop fighting, non-stop fighting, non-stop fighting. So, you know, even though, like I said, actual time is going on, the game time is still kind of slow. It hasn't really advanced too much. The snobbish Baron Apros rules Malano now. I heard that he received some great magic from Rashidi, but I don't know if that's true or not. But we have a world card to deal with that. And we got that world card earlier in the map, so that +2 strength that we got from the chariot card there, that's going to give into all our units. So, that's nice. It's always great when you get a world card at the very beginning of the map, because then all those bonuses get to be given to all the deployed units. So, you're more likely, and obviously the sooner you get the world card, the more towns and temples you have to liberate. So the more cards you get, the more chance you have of getting a bonus, a positive bonus. Yeah, there are some negative bonuses, but I'd have to look up. But it skews toward the positive. There's more positive effects from drawing a tarot card than negatives. So, yeah, you pull a tarot card, you're most likely going to get a positive effect. So, there was speaking of cards, and I know I talked about not Double Dragon. I don't know why I'm thinking Double Dragon. That's an old game I played as a kid. The Dungeons and Dragons, there was an artifact called the Deck of Many Things, and I think that one was where you basically drew cards, and they could have like random effects. But I think in that one, there were more negative effects than positive effects, and I think it was also that like whatchamacallit, like cards could never be like recycled. So like if there was like 52 cards in the deck, I don't know how many there were. Like I said, it's been years, decades since I played Dungeons and Dragons. But like they wouldn't recycle. Like here, you know, you can draw like, you know, 3 chariot cards in a row, you know, it doesn't matter, you know. But like in the Book of Many Things, if you pulled a card, I believe, like I said, my memory might be, you know, going crazy, but I'm pretty sure that the way it was like, when you pulled a card, that card was taken out of the deck for like forever. So if you were like paying attention to what cards were drawn, you know, you can be like, wait a minute, every single one of the positive cards were drawn already, so everything I take is going to be negative. So I don't remember. I want to say that they balanced it by like the positive effects that you got were like really, really good. The negative effects, while of course were bad because they were negative, weren't like as terrible. But like I said, it's been so long and I don't know. I would think they would balance it, but if you've played Dungeons and Dragons, you realize that they usually have a terrible time balancing, which is why they tend to have all those re-releases and updates and Player Handbook 2, Player Handbook 2.5, 3 billion or whatever. Yeah, so. Oh, you end up getting Mikado's sword. That's just a regular physical sword. +8 strength, so not really good. You always get like a plus, you know, at least, you know, a 2-digit bonus. But, you know, hey, 8 ain't that bad. It's better than nothing. Many people have come here to see the wedding ceremony in Malano. I heard that even the Baron himself was surprised by the turnout. I also heard that Prince Tristan is among those people, hoping to get a chance to get to the Baron. Not to blame him, the Baron betrayed Tristan's family and executed them all. Uh-oh. Tristan has a beef with the Baron. But Tristan is waiting to see Orpheus. He's hanging out in this city here. Remember, we were told when we liberated that city that, hey, Prince Tristan wants to meet with you in person. So, yeah, to recruit Prince Tristan, we're gonna have to actually come visit him with Orpheus. So, and we don't have to worry about reputation or anything like that because we have the Key of Destiny we got from Banya. So, I just missed the sword that we pulled out there. Give me a second to rewind and come back. Alright, I went back and checked out that sword that we pulled. It was the Malachite sword, and that is an ice sword. Gives the highest strength bonus, plus 18 strength, but it gives a -4 to int. But like I said, we'll be giving that to a frontline fighter who doesn't have to worry about intelligence, so good find there. And we got another world card. We already got one earlier, but we'll keep it. Don't you think those walls around Malano are a bother? No. Then I'll give you some advice. Go around the west side and attack from the rear. This time we'll say yes. Well, let me give you this Trojan horse then. I hope it helps. We got the termites, and they function just like they did in the slums of Zenobia. So, we will end up using them to bring down the walls. So, you see, we already had a termite. We had 2 termites from other enemy units. We could have used any of them. We didn't have to. It's not exclusive. Like, it's not like, you know, the termite that we got in this map was the only one that we can use on this map. If you find a termite from somewhere else, hey, feel free to use it. So, there's a few other maps that will have walls, you know, in them, but not really, you know, large walls that really will hinder movement. So, we may end up just selling those termites, even though they're pretty much worthless. Like, they might only be a few gold, but oh well, we'll figure that out in the future. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode, and see you soon. Bye.